Hello and welcome to Budget with Brian, and today Evolution have sent us two of their fantastic EXT 18 volt lithium ion tools. We've got a circular saw and the wet and dry cordless vac. We're going to have a look at the cordless vac today, and then we'll have a separate video for the saw. So first things first, let's do an unboxing. This is how the vacuum comes packaged. It comes in a nice neat contained box. This one is the kit version, so it comes with a battery and a charger. This will be the first time I'm really unboxing it, although I did open it to see what was in the box. So there we go. We've got a packaged charger there. That looks good. We've got a separate battery. This one is a 4 amp hour. They do other sizes as well. And then we've got the vacuum itself. I'm resisting saying the word Hoover. I know how excited it gets people. We've also got a user manual. And I think that's it. But there's quite a lot here. Here's the battery. This is how this one comes packaged. It comes with a 2-year warranty. And of course, this is we can see the part number there. Now, something that we'll also do a separate video on is the fact that these batteries are also the same as the Erbauer ones, so you can fit these to Erbauer tools, and we've got some Erbauer tools that we're going to show these being fitted to, but that'll be in another video. Here's the battery itself. Looks pretty robust. It looks very well made compared to some of the off-brand, if you like, batteries that we see elsewhere. This is equally as well made as a Makita one, for example, I would say. We've got a battery indicator there, so there we go. It's come with a holding charge, because you're not supposed to have them flat, and you're not supposed to ship them fully charged. But yeah, nicely made plastic, good stickers, nice feel to the battery. That's good. We'll unbox the charger next. There we go. Here's the charger. Yeah, that looks pretty good. We've got Evolution written on there quite clearly, and of course we've got what all the different lights mean, and this is a rapid charger. So we've got the 2 LEDs here, and this is what the symbols mean. So dots means flashing there, and of course we get a lovely big manual and maybe some kind of warranty or something. I don't know. Yes, probably it is. Okay, now we're sort of fully assembled. Let's have a run round the unit itself. So it's got some great sort of tool storage all the way round. So we've got a nice brushed tool there. There is a crevice tool, love that word, stored in the end here. That's good. And then I was thinking, oh no, it would be really nice if it had a like a flat tool for hoovering up maybe things on carpet. What about this? Boom, it's down here. So that's pretty neat. Everything's got its own little place. Of course, the hose itself wraps around and clicks on there. And, there we are. It's not overly heavy. It seems, really portable. The uses for this, in my mind, are certainly for, around the job site, hooking it up to a chop saw maybe. Maybe having it in areas where you want to hoover, but you can't be asked to roll out a cord, which could be a quick job to clean up the car, which you might find awkward with other types of hoovers or vacuums. But this one obviously is very portable, having the battery. So I do need to put the battery on charge, but let's do that and then, hoover up some stuff. Here's the charger plugged in. Unlike a few others, this one has a fan in it, which obviously the idea is that it keeps the battery cool and doesn't allow it to overheat. But I suspect it also has some heat sensors in there which would shut that off if it was too hot. In fact, it has a light showing that something's too hot. It also has a light showing that the battery might well be dead. But of course, this is flashing green. Flashing green means charging. Solid green means charged. So I think that took about half an hour to charge from pretty flat. There we go, we've got a nice solid green light there, and the fan's gone off. I wasn't really paying attention to how long, but it felt probably about half an hour, maybe 45 minutes, but it wasn't longer. And yeah, that was on a 4 amp hour battery, so it's a pretty big boy, let's be honest. So there we go. Now I can show you that the lights are all ready, and so look, and now we're good to go, right? Let's get that slotted in. Pretty easy to do that. Felt pretty good too. So before I go any further, Evolution have given us a discount code, which I'm going to flash up on the screen now. If you want 5% off any of their Evolution tools, you can just put the word Brian in all caps, and that should help you get 5% off. There'll be a link to that where you can do that below as well. Let's see this bad boy in action. I think we can probably find some dirt to hoover up. There's plenty in here. As I said, that's the hose there like that. Let's use the crevice tool on the end of it. Now, I think we've all been criminal of doing this, but at least this is set up for doing it. Using the hose without any kind of tool on it whatsoever. Now, I have to say, I have started off with these being straight on any kind of vacuum, and literally just through use I've ground it off to being this kind of shape. So 100%, if you don't use a tool on the end of your vacuum, you're going to end up replacing the pipe for sure. But yeah, there we go. Crevice tool on. Crevice tools are replaceable easier, so I would use that. The first little test I'm going to do is just one with my hand. I think we've all had an experience of just putting your hand over the end of a hoover and gauging how much suction you get from it, and whether or not that's going to be useful or not. So I'll do that. The other test I'm going to do is I'm going to actually hoover the interior of a car with this, because I think that's one of the big areas that I will want to use a tool like this. And if I get round to it, we might see if we can plug it on the end of something that creates a bit of dust, like I don't know, like a sander or something like that, and see whether that's gonna suck up some dust and be portable. Yeah, so first things first, let's turn it on and just check with my hand. So yeah, there is some reasonable and useful suction there. I'm going to say it's not as powerful as a mains powered vacuum, so I think you probably need to be aware of that. Just while I think about it, let's also do the reverse of that, because as I said, it's not only a vacuum, it can also be a blower. So just turn that round, click that in, and let's see what it's like as a blower. Yeah, I'm going to say also that that's also not as powerful as, let's say, an air blower. Let me find one of those. Here's a Bosch one. This is one that we reviewed previously before. I'll put a link to that above. The battery's flat on this, so I can't really show you this blowing, but I did get a little blast out of it, and on a high setting, this definitely does blow a little bit harder. But let's be fair here. This is a vacuum first. It's not really meant to be a blower, but it does have that exhaust feature, which is useful when you're around. So here's a classic area of where you might be wanting to hoover up or vacuum up some sawdust. It seems like a reasonable material for this device to be used on. So let's see how it gets on with this. So this is just, regular light sawdust, and indeed might be the type of sawdust that you would get if you were using this with a chop saw, for example. Oh, there we go. Let's have it on the vacuum part, otherwise we're going to be breathing a lot of that. Right, here we go. Let's try that again. Pretty good. And now it's portable and we can take it somewhere else. Now that we've hoovered something up, let's just have a little look inside and see how that's stored. Now, obviously, the great thing about having a wet-dry vacuum is that what you end up with is effectively just a bucket, which we have here, and there's all that lovely sawdust that it picked up. Let's also have a close look at the filter. Obviously, that's just had a few seconds there, and you can see how it's trapping all of that lovely dust and stopping it from getting into the motor, and then also blowing out the exhaust. So periodically this filter will need to be banged out and cleaned, and ultimately at some point in its life replaced. Here we are at car number 1, and I think this is a classic use case for a cordless vacuum like this, just to quickly just whiz round and tidy it up. I feel there's a barrier for bringing out a corded vacuum for doing this sort of job, certainly in the winter. You don't really want to be pulling a lead out, but the idea of just picking up that cordless vacuum and having a quick run round seems like a much more appealing idea. So let's see how it gets on with this level of dirt. I'm not going to put the crevice tool on immediately. There's some big chunks in there, but I think this is going to be a bit of a time lapse, so let's see. So actually I'm quite pleased with that. It's picked up all of the dirt like you'd imagine, and even with the slightly less suction than I was really kind of expecting, it's actually done a pretty good job. I'm going to work on this a little bit more, but as I said, for the use case of getting past that barrier of pulling the cable out and running around it, having broken through that barrier of having to pull an extension lead out and a domestic vacuum, this actually is working out really well just for cleaning up the car. Would I like a little bit more suction? Yes, I would. Is it doing the job? Yeah, actually it's totally doing the job. There was a 20p piece that was stuck in between the driver's side and the footwell, etc. It gets stuck in those tracks, etc. And the suction didn't get it out, but the blower did just push it out so I could get to it. So that was very successful and really useful. So a consequential benefit of having the blower function is being able to dislodge things to be able to get to hoover them. So that's car number 1 done. I've come back inside now, and just to really sort of sum up on what I think of the Evolution vacuum, cordless vacuum, 18 volt EXT cordless wet and dry vacuum cleaner with blow function, the R11VAC. I have to say, I've made a little discovery after vacuuming both of those cars. I managed to get through 1 3/4 if you like, of vacuuming the interior before the 4 amp hour battery died on me. It ran out, but that 4 amp hour battery wasn't quite topped off, and I wasn't far away from being able to finish up. So I do think that a fully charged 4 amp hour battery would have got us there. But I just put on this 8 amp hour battery, and I felt that the suction may have been quite a bit better. So it could be that it's drawing quite a lot, and the 8 amp hour battery's just got a little bit more oomph in it to be able to deliver what the motor needs. But I did find that there was a little bit more suction available to it with the bigger battery. The other thing that it does, which I've seen on some other videos, is when you are full stretch on the hose, it does like to sing to you a little bit, but it's not really a problem. Let's have a quick look inside before we wrap this video up. And while I do that, there is a lovely discount code available to viewers. You don't even have to subscribe, but if you'd like to, please do. If you just type in the word Brian, full caps, when you're placing an order directly with Evolution, you'll get a 5% discount, which sounds pretty good. So yeah, this is all of the dirt that we managed to pick up. Not bad. The filter's doing a good job. We'll tap that out before we empty the box here. But yeah, all in all, I'm pretty happy with it. And I think for specific use cases where a battery powered one would work great, this is ideal. So only really remains me to say thanks again for watching Budget with Brian. If we're on Facebook, Instagram and Twitter, and don't forget to subscribe.